see so. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to the FA Cup Chelsea match reaction. Yes! Sorry, it's been a very weird vibe this morning. Everyone's a bit lost the plot a little bit.
Yeah.
Jack needs a Lucasade Sport, and I don't know what's happened to Ben.
I'm just hungover for the first time. Let's go.
Oh yeah, Ben failed his 75 hard for anyone who's been following.
Bottled it big time. Coward.
Yeah, standard Ben really just can't see anything through, can he?
Imagine all of the things that I could have failed it on, and I just forgot to read my book, and that was what.
Yeah,
and I failed.
That has got to be peak Ben Spalding. The fact that you failed 75 hard because you failed to read 10 pages of a book.
Yeah, I left it too
doesn't
late
get
in the
any
day
better
and
than
then fell
that,
asleep. Stinker. But
Well,
you know what else is a stinker? Chelsea getting knocked out of the cup. We've woken up and we're still in the cup. I'm not a Chelsea fan. Cucurella fell on his arse. Caicedo fell on his arse. Sanchez fell on his arse whilst Mitoma majestically put it past him. It wasn't a handball. Lamptey's probably was. Yes, correct. But fuck Chelsea. Yeah? Fuck Chelsea.
Shit.
all my homies hate Chelsea. Yeah, let's go.
They lost to a
Vamos.
German Ted Lasso. Imagine how embarrassing that is. We are so back. Forget the 7-0 because we're fucking back and we're going to win the lot.
Yeah. Herzl is the best manager in the world. We are so back. We're winning the lot. We're winning the league. But no,
Did you see what I sent in this morning? How mad? I don't know if it was like a meme report because they did credit the Athletic. Apparently, this is according to the Athletic. Fabian Herzler on Monday after the 7-0. He burnt the 7-0. He burnt the tactical plan of one midfielder using a cigarette lighter to cremate the paperwork to draw a line under the performance. So if that is true, that's pretty cool.
It's very theatrical, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean,
I like it. I rate it.
I like it. Yeah, we just got back to 7-0. You need to do something big. So him being holding his hands up. He didn't hold his hands up to the fans, did he? But to the players, he's done it, and I'm sure he probably won a few hearts in the dressing room back. And we saw that last night against Chelsea because we beat the twats.
Yeah, because we played two midfield. I think that's probably the
that helps usually when you play two midfielders, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'm belabor as well. What a player! But Jack, first of all, how are you? Are you feeling a bit tender today?
Unwell.
I am feel.
I feel.
I don't know if for the eagle-eyed viewer who was watching my Instagram story last night. I went to the White Hawk game and the Amex, and I had 18 pints,
Wow.
which was a heavy one.
That is outrageous. And you're not like, mate, I would be not even present mentally.
I'm not.
It's what he
I'm
does.
not mentally president. It's what I do. I remember.
I think he's got more Guinness in his system than blood and water at the moment.
Do you know what?
He's running on Guinness.
There was like an occupational health thing where they went like, "Oh, how much do you drink a week?" And I go, "I don't really drink during the week. I don't really drink during the week." But I said on the weekend, I go like, "I usually go to football and I have like 7 or 8." And they went units, and I just went, "Yeah." and then we moved on, didn't we? We never mentioned it again.
You know when you go to the dentist and every time you have to refill in that form and it says how many units do you drink a week, and I'm like, I actually have no idea, and it feels really bad putting the actual answer because then I'm like, how is this right? Because the options.
You know what?
I know we're veering really off topic, but how many units are in a pint usually?
3-ish.
I always have to Google it.
3-ish, I think.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're so what if we're going by that average and you had 80?
Yeah. Let's not worry about that. That's an issue for another day.
Okay. All right. Let's move on then, shall we? So yeah, an incredible result. We said, didn't we? We need a reaction, and we very much got one. However, not at the beginning, because Verbruggen decided to do what Verbruggen does best at the moment. Seems to like make our lives more difficult for some reason. I don't know why he wants to do this. We've actually been, like, all joking aside, I've been saying it personally for the last maybe 10 games that I feel like he needs either competition, a rest. Jack mentioned it last podcast. Ben said it a few times as well, to be fair to him, whenever he's been on, which is when he's on. But we all been saying, haven't we? I feel like he needs a rest, and I think yesterday just epitomised a lot. Over time, it's been bubbling away, didn't it? And then that was like a big calamity error. Usually, it's like a dodgy pass, or he's got his hand to it and it goes in, and you can't really blame him fully for some of them. Some of them you can. But yesterday was a stinker. Let's be frank. Let's say it how it is. It was an absolute howler. But obviously we did come back from it. But yeah, let's just start off on the bad point, and then we'll get into the good stuff. So yeah, it was a poor start, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea did start on the front foot, and I was thinking, oh God, this is going to be
another 7-0.
Another long day at Sporting Brighton. But that was probably the worst start you could have hoped for. You know, it wasn't like it was a good goal. I mean, Cole Palmer nearly scored from a decent effort just moments before Bart tips it over the bar, but. Yeah, Bart must have been absolutely gutted with himself. But, Dunk was there straight away, picked him up, and they moved on. And that was the best thing. Like, he didn't dwell on it. And after that, he seemed pretty solid in goal, really. But, yeah, as a Brighton fan, you must have been thinking, fuck me, it's happening again here. My head was on Mars as soon as that happened. I was, like, getting pelters from everyone that I was with. I didn't doing the Neil Warnock in the pub like this. And, yeah, I was not happy. But, yeah, we bounced back, and it was a really good response.
Yeah, Jack, I want to ask as well, because obviously you were at the game, and what was the reaction like? Because when those moments happen, the crowd can get a bit feral. Was that the case? And what was the general consensus around the stadium at the time?
I wasn't very happy. I didn't take it very well. I think a couple of shouts of "Get McGill on" was my initial reaction. I
mean that's completely understandable.
I did lose my head a bit at that one, but like understandably so. We just it's fucked.
Good analysis there, Jack.
No, it wasn't good, was it? It wasn't good. It did really annoy me that Cole Palmer celebrated. It's not his goal, is it? No, yeah. And he was doing his old cold loser.
Yeah. It was bad. It was very bad, and I think that's the key takeaway from this. I think Bart either needs a game dropped, as in just rest him for a game. But I suppose it's what the options are. I mean, Rushworth, I think, just coming back from an injury himself, Steele's out. McGill is available,
He's
but
Canadian.
Seems like he doesn't. He
is Canadian. I think he's from Burgess Hill, though. I think he's from Burgess Hill, so I'm not sure where the link comes from. That he's
near
Canadian,
Montreal,
yeah,
just outside of Montreal.
I once chewed his ear off in the Walrus in town.
Mike Tyson.
After we beat
very good
Wolves, when we beat Wolves 6-0, and he was sat on the table next to us in the Walrus, and I just spoke to him ages, and I can't remember. I asked him whether each goal that we scored in that game was savable, which is probably quite a weird conversation. So big up Tom McGill.
No wonder he doesn't start. He's been scarred from Jack's.
Yeah.
No wonder why he changed citizenship as well. He wants to move to Canada to get away from Jack as well.
He definitely didn't sound Canadian. He sounded very English. So,
right.
Yeah.
He's one of those. One of those, is he?
Yeah.
Right. We're 9 minutes into the podcast, and we've spoken about the Brugger's mistake and McGill being Canadian, which is
and Jack's alcoholism.
Jack's alcoholism, which is it had to be talked about because I think it's getting to that point.
It's out of
control.
An
intervention. No. So poor start. However, things got better. Things did get better. A fantastic goal, to be honest. Veltman's cross and Rutter's header. Great goal, great build up, fantastic from Rutter, and we wanted that, didn't we? We wanted Rutter to add more goal contributions, and he's very much doing that. I feel like whenever given the chance, he impacts the game. And can I just say, put it on record, he is becoming, and he might be, my favourite Brighton Hove Albion player right now. He is, honestly, his vibes are a joke. Like, in the post-match press conference, content king. They love to give him the camera. The media team know what they're doing. They're like, just give the phone to Rutter and he'll do something funny. I'm sure he will. But no, he is honestly, like, off the pitch and on the pitch. He is making me
hard.
Maybe not. That's not what I was going for. But no, you put it in my head. Maybe it's. But no, Jack. First of all, talk about goal, and second of all, Rutter's impact. Like, how important is it for him to get a run of games? Because I feel like he's sort of been flip-flopping out the team recently.
Yeah, he's been in and out of the team. I think that's been down to injury, hasn't it? Slightly. I think that's some of the reasons he hasn't been starting. But he started second game in a row. He started after the game that we no longer ever speak about ever again. And I think he did really well. I thought he seems to be really, really good at sort of drifting in when we've got a cross coming into the box. And then the lovely little deft header past Sanchez. Maybe Sanchez could have done better with it, but he's not very good at being a goalkeeper, so that's fine. I thought he did really well. The really nice, well set up goal and kind of set the tone. I didn't realise that was only 10 minutes into the bloody game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Yeah. And it was already
not happened
1-1
in that first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think it's not the first time we've scored from that kind of cutback where the winger's giving it to a defender. I think was it Van Heck who put the ball in the box like that for who to score a header this season as well? Who was that against? I can't really remember. I feel like Veltman's done that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Just in that area.
Inchwood, Forest.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah. And it seems to work so well for us, that little.
And Veltman, it was basically a carbon copy of Veltman and Jorginho combining at Norwich. Norwich basically scored.
Yes, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of as well. Yeah.
I think it was a really nice move. Rutter's, I think he's been fantastic this season. I think that makes him top goal scorer, doesn't it? Quite possibly.
I'm going to say yes.
Possibly. Yeah, I believe you, Jack.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And yeah, so that was really good. That was really good.
Yeah. No, it was a great way to reply to that earlier mistake from Verbruggen.
And to draw a line under it
in 10 minutes.
Within 10 minutes, draw a line under it, back to level pegging. It's really good. I'm sure it would have done.
Wild night last night.
Jack, we're talking about the game, mate. Yeah. What happened in the Walrus?
It was what I've lost a trail of thought. I don't care. Carry on.
This podcast, this has been carnage so far. I don't know what's happened. I'm not even hungover. Ben and Jack are just being silly boys.
Yeah.
But no.
Let's peg it back, guys.
Let's peg it back. Right. 1-1. 10 minutes in, like you said, Jack, draw a line under the mistake. I think that's what you were saying, Jack. To draw a line under the mistake. And, it was the reaction we wanted and we needed. Quickly, I want to talk about, before we get on to the next goal, the fantastic Mitoma finish.
We're just ignoring Ben.
Yeah, ignore Ben. He's on mute.
He's fine.
He needs 30 seconds in the corner. It's fine.
Yeah.
Cucurella and Sanchez were the pantomime villains once again. And I do love it, boys. Don't you just love it?
Yeah,
like Cucurella, when Veltman crunched Cucurella, there was a bigger cheer than there was for the goal, and that's saying something. And I all right, Ben, are you back in the room? Or are you just gonna laugh?
Yeah.
Okay, you're back. So Cucurella was getting booed every second, and also I accidentally muted Ben there, and also Cucurella. I saw someone tweet going, I love how petty Brighton fans were for booing him right to the last minute. Now, would you agree with that, Jack? Would you say it's petty, or would you say it's just a bit of, we're missing that little... just quickly, you've seen recently, they're trying to take celebrations out from us. They're trying to take the soul of football. And I feel like that's another intricate, thing to football where you sort of give it a banter and you give a bit of stick to players. It's all a bit of fun, isn't it?
I think I was quite impressed how he managed to keep it up pretty consistently for 3 separate players on 3 separate occasions. Like we managed to boo
Caicedo as well.
Caicedo, Sanchez, and Cucurella at all different points. So it was kind of like one-touch football between the two at one point. I'm pretty sure, and it was just like boo. I think. Do you know what? I think I'm gonna give Cucurella some credit because I do think he's had a good season this year. I do think he's done really well this year, and I think he does play the role of pantomime villain really, really well. I think that's his perfect role. He's an absolute shithouse. He's an absolute bastard sometimes. The amount of times he goes down, but that's all part of his role. So I think we did really well. I think the fact that he had a bad game demonstrates how well we played, really. I think we kind of nullified him when we would normally be doing quite well with him. So, yeah.
No,
also, on the atmosphere, I mean, like, we in the preview, we were calling for it to be a good atmosphere. So that was definitely going to help in the win. Like, we wanted the same atmosphere that we got at City. So having those pantomime villains on the pitch to boo is only going to benefit the crowd because it gives us actually something to shout about them and boo and get going. So it is almost a benefit when you're playing against opposition players like that, because the fans are getting riled up because we're having to boo 3 players instead of just one.
And I do think a lot of the debate is always raging on, isn't it, about the atmosphere? And I do think that, like, last night we had a really good atmosphere, and I think because firstly the best way to get the atmosphere up is just to score very quickly after going 1-0 down, and we can get the atmosphere right up. I thought there'd be no one there. I thought there were some large empty parts of some stands. But, I thought it was a really good atmosphere. The stadium looked really full, and I did really well. I didn't really hear a peep out the Chelsea fans, considering we had a 6,000 following.
Yeah.
And I thought we did really well on that point of view. So, it was really, really good to see. Really good to see.
No, it was great. And I do love that side. I think that's one thing we're losing a little bit from football is that shithousery, that little bit of giving it to players, obviously in a respectful manner. Again, we always say this.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, like booing, all that kind of stuff, fine. Obviously, if you go into the realms of abuse, obviously we don't condone that. But if you do it in a respectful, funny, humorous way, then I'm all for it. Especially, like, for example, Ndai doing the Seagulls celebration. I mean, come on, that was funny. Like, how's he getting booked for that? It's outrageous. But anyway, we move on. Second half. Actually, let's talk about standout players, actually. Let's start with that, actually. Ben, who are your standout players, full 90 and even cameos? I've got one in mind if you want me to start, Ben, if that helps.
Go on.
Yeah, go on, Ben. Do you know what? I was really impressed when he came on. Diego Gomez. I thought he was fantastic when he came on. He was very solid.
The reincarnation of McAllister, people are saying, aren't they?
Yeah, I've seen the comparison. I'm not sure 100% with the McAllister comparison, but he is a fantastic player, and I feel like he's only had a limited time, and he came out and he said that he does enjoy coming on in the second half because it helps him adapt to the Premier League, which is good. So he's not being thrown in. Yeah, he's not being thrown in the deep end. So fantastic player. I thought he very impressive cameo. Anyone else, Ben, or do you want to talk about Diego Gomez? Either or.
You know what? I feel like Tarek Lamptey was pretty decent as well. He was very good. He won
player of the match, of course. Yeah.
Did he? Didn't know that. So fair play. I didn't know that. Didn't hear that on comms. But I thought he was really good. He's involved in the first goal. I'm pretty sure, like driving the ball down the left wing. Obviously playing on an opposite side again. But he done very well against his former club. So I'm sure that was a little bit of motivation for him as well. And handballed it in the build up to the second goal. But we'll get on to that. So I guess it's a second assist because he. Go on.
Just quickly on Lamptey before Jack tells us his player of the game. What happened with the Ajax? Was that just fake news?
Yeah, probably. It was in the mail. Yeah. It was in the mail. So.
Yeah,
1.5 million as well. They're joking.
Yeah, 1.5 million. I was like, surely that's.
I think that's
almost what we.
It could quite possibly go through, but I think that was we had to look at the squad seriously. Then we didn't have any defenders. If we got rid of Lamptey, I'd be struggling to think who would be playing in that role. So. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting one. I think a couple of standout players for me. I thought Gomez came on and did really, really well. I think like Maz. Also, we took Belieber off for him, and that did worry me a bit. And I thought he did really well to sort of play without Belieber, who was doing really well. I thought Tariq was superb again, like Ben said. And I might as well pick a player which nobody else has picked, rather than just saying the same thing on repeat. I thought Jack Inchwood was fantastic. I thought he did really, really well. I thought he marshalled that midfield really well. He was turning over the ball really nicely. I thought he had a fantastic game. And I thought Mitoma was back to his best again as well. Obviously he got the winner, but I think he was really showing why he's such a, good player and why we value him at over 90 million, it seems. So, it was a fantastic performance all round from the team, I thought. And
Webster as well, cameo, he came back and that was solid again.
Webster, that was the player I was thinking of.
The Rolls Royce.
Mate, he looks so composed and like calm.
Yeah.
Like it's back when we saw
what the hell has happened?
Bristol City.
Did we send him to the mountains where Jadon Sancho went and he's just like revitalised and come back as an absolute warrior?
Yeah, mate, he looks fantastic. I was really impressed when he came on. Do you remember when he came on as a sub for what game was it? And he was really good.
Arsenal.
Yeah, who was it? Yeah, Arsenal. Yeah,
against Arsenal.
At home. And he came on. He was really good. And then obviously against Ipswich, I was so impressed with him. I thought Ipswich away, he was fantastic. I thought he was one of our better players. I know he got subbed in the end, but I think that was for fitness reasons. But I just feel like every time he's played, like in the last sort of month or two, he's been fantastic. I don't know what's changed, but
I think he was really, really good, Adam Webster. I thought, it's always a shame when you lose Dunker. I thought I had a decent enough game. And then, your club captain going down injured just before half time, you do start to worry a bit. Oh no, this might unravel a bit. Webster came on and did really, really well. He's really solid, composed. Everything about him was a fantastic performance from him. So I was mightily, mightily impressed.
No, 100%.
Boys, I'm going to have to bow out before you cover the second half, lads. So back to work I go.
Nice to see you, Ben, mate.
Cheers, lads. Up the Albion. If you do want my take quickly on the goal, obviously unbelievable goal. It was majestic from Mitoma. Brilliant ball from Rutter. Just funny, though, that came off Tarek Lamptey's hand. So if there was VAR, it probably would have been ruled out. So it's another fuck you to Chelsea as well. Peace.
Wait, what were we just talking about before he went in about the goal?
Webster?
You were talking about Webster. Yes, Webster. Yeah. Let's say Dunkey has got an injury now going forward. It's so important that we do have Webster being able to step in. Obviously, Cash in, getting up to speed. He's going to probably take a while to get up to speed. So it's very important that, a player like Webster does step up and can do a job, which he's proven in the past few games anyway, that he can definitely do. So, very, very happy for him, especially with a few injuries he's had. And he seems like a great guy as well around the squad. So it's great to see him doing well. But let's talk about the goal, because Ben has talked about it. Tarek, now I read or heard something about apparently Lamptey. It wouldn't, if a VAR wasn't existent or was in that game, they wouldn't have disallowed it. Apparently, I don't know the reason.
I actually think this whole idea that it's a controversial winner, and I don't think it's that controversial. I think it was pretty close range. He had the ball fired at him. I don't think, arguably his hand was. I mean, it was a little bit out, wasn't it? It wasn't in the shape of the body. But I don't know. I think it'd be harsh because he couldn't really do much about it. But at the end of the day, you have to you take these things, and this is what happens with football. And I do think it's sort of the beauty of VAR-less football, in that you win some, you lose some, and that seems to be the same with VAR. So I think as much as I'd be frustrated if it happened against us, because I do think it's hit his hand quite blatantly. It's so hard to look at that and go, that's not that's a handball, because there's not a lot that Tariq really could have done about it. So that was really nice, really well set up, a lovely little dink ball by Rutter, and then a great finish by Mitoma, doing what he does best, which is scoring winners against top six sides in the FA Cup fourth round. Because I mean, that was his iconic goal he scored against Liverpool. So I think that was a really, really good goal, really good way to seal off a performance.
Yeah, no, it was fantastic. Great finish. Like you said, the cheeky little ball from Rutter, great little assist there as well. Lamptey, we've spoken about his impact. He had a fantastic game, and he did have a part to play in that goal, albeit with his hand. So no, it was a fantastic team goal, and Mitoma's finish as well. Like you said, it felt like he was back at his best and at his imperial, peak of what he can. We know what he can do. It's just sometimes he might go missing. Sometimes he might not get the goal contributions that we look for. Assist goals, but we are better with him in the team. That is just
he's a luxury player. He's a luxury. That's I love watching him. He's not one that I'm going, his work rate can be very, very good, but he's not one you're expecting to get back and track back. You want him to provide moments of magic like that, and that was, you're looking, and as much as it, Pedro, I thought he came on and had a good little cameo at the end there, but is our best front four? Does it have Pedro in? That is a real question at the moment. I think
great question,
and I think it's arguably that at the moment he's not getting into our best front four. So it was really good to see those four players work really well together. I thought Minter had a good game. I thought he didn't quite contribute to goals or anything, but his work rate is unmatched. The more and more I watch him, his work rate is superb. Minter, so good,
mate. At one point, I think it was around the 80th minute mark. He was part of the back five as a right back. And just doing those defensive duties, which is so important when you're one goal up and it's getting a bit tetchy maybe towards the end. You only got a goal advantage. It's 93rd minute. You want your right winger. Obviously, you want him to be up at the front of the pitch and contributing to goals. But at the same time, when you're defending a one goal lead, you want your right winger to come back and track back and do his defensive duties, and he did that. And big props to him, because that was really key to the whole shape and
Yeah.
to the result, I suppose. Yeah, no, fantastic from him. So I think, mate, to be fair,
I know.
we've pretty much covered everything.
There's a lot less to cover when we
What,
win, isn't there? I thought to be,
yeah,
to be fair,
Not
like
as much moaning,
after the
is there?
goal, though, I thought we did really well at sort of pressing on. It looked like we could have got a third at time. I thought we worked really well as a unit. Yeah, I think we properly saw the game out, and probably 2-1, maybe a little bit unlucky. I think the work rate deserved a third goal. So yeah, no, it's really, really good to see that.
I was going to ask you, Jack. Actually, that's actually reminded me of a question I was going to ask you. Herzler has been criticised for his game management a few times. Obviously, we've seen the Wolves result, the Leicester result. I mean, Forest, it goes without saying. He's been questioned about his in-game tactics and his man management, all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like yesterday was a good example of him actually seeing out a game? And to be fair to him, actually, there has been a few other occasions where I think he has managed games really well, like Spurs springs to mind, where he made those tactical changes at half time and we ended up winning the game. But yeah, he has been, subjected to a bit of criticism on that front as well. Do you feel like he done really well on that? Yeah. Do you feel like he done well on that yesterday in terms of his game management because of the players he brought on and how he sort of got us to like a back five towards the end? And how do you see that going forward as well?
Yeah, I think he's of the criticism I've had of him in the last few weeks, I think it's been just the game in the tactics overall rather than sort of the game management. I do think in the last few games when we played United, Ipswich, we've seen out the game really well, and I haven't been worried as much. We look a lot more. We look pretty good solidly defensively, other than last week, of course. And yeah, I don't know. It's a funny one, isn't it, Herzler? Like, I'll stand up and I say I was bordering on the Fabian out fence by side of the fence last week, and he's done exactly what I wanted him to do. I wanted him to go out and win the game, and I wanted him. I think I spoke about it. I wanted him to do like a De Zerbi-esque thing and go and win the next game, and that's what we've done. The best way to bounce back from a 7-0 defeat, and it does show you that there's a little bit of character in the team. And yeah, it did look like the players were demotivated. And there were rumours of unrest within the dressing room, and I'm sure there could well have been. But the thing is that was this last week they've obviously done a bit, and it looked like the team had done a bit of soul searching, and I do think that's a sort of thing that they've been up to. You read that stuff in the Athletic about him setting fire to the tactics guy, which is like is almost impressively David Brent. But it's but I like it. I like it. It sort of drew a line under that performance. I think I think some of his post-match comments were a bit strange, and I think people were a little bit worried that he was going to do the same thing again. Yeah.
You mean after Forest?
No, after Forest, and I think people were a little bit worried that he's going to come out and do the same thing again, and he didn't. And I think we've obviously worked on it during the week. He's got. Let's not. I've still got some concerns, but that was a really, really good way of proving me wrong. Not that he had to prove me wrong more than anyone, but it was. It was a great way of sort of showing to us there's togetherness there is, and not to be all like. He says togetherness a lot, but there was, and everybody seemed to run through walls for him, and I think they all sort of, he said that he had individual meetings with certain players, and I think at the end of the day, everybody wants the same thing. The entire squad want the same thing. The fans want the same thing. We want to win games. We want to get back up to Europe. So, yeah, it's a really good comeback for him. But we've got next week. Got to play Chelsea again. It'll be interesting to see how that one gets on. I think of the 3 games, I think I mentioned to him about. Mentioned on the podcast, not to him. Christ, I don't think I'd be allowed, especially not last night in the state I was in. Me and
you were in the room with Herzler,
emergency talks.
Tactical
exactly.
advice.
If you don't play a goalkeeper, he can't make any mistakes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I said of the 3 games, I think this game was huge for our season. I think we needed to stay in the cup to sort of give us a real motivation towards the end of the season. I think next week is a bit of a free hit. Chelsea in the league. If they turn up and they play really well, it's obviously great that we've beaten them this week. If they turn up and play really well, because they showed sparks of it last night. I think they'd made a few changes as well last night. Admittedly, Cole Palmer was on the pitch, which is arguably their best player. They still went pretty strong. So it'd be
think they had a
interesting to
very
see how he
strong-
gets on. And then, of
strong
course,
lineup.
Southampton away is the big one for me. Like, you've got to really show what you're made of, really, there by getting a result down there. And then hopefully we can kick on for the rest of the season. But yeah, I think it's a really impressive victory for me, and I'm really impressed. And I did think, like, Cole Palmer, I think is undoubtedly one of the best players in the world at the moment. And I thought we dealt with him really well. I thought we sort of marked him out of the game. And to be fair, I think he had a bit of a stinker. I don't think Cole Palmer will be walking around going, that was his best game of football he's ever played. But, I think, we've got to take advantage of these teams not turning up. And I think that's been our problem of late, that we haven't quite taken advantage of teams not playing that great and turning them into wins instead of draws. So, really good victory.
No, 100%. And talking of Herzler and like the togetherness, I did hear that he is planning to take them on a warm weather camp, I believe, in the soon. Soon, I believe. I'm pretty sure he was talking about it on ITV yesterday.
I'd like to go on a warm weather trip, actually.
So yeah. Do you want to fancy taking us with you? That'd be great. I can fit in the suitcase, so that's no problem. And then just we'll be quiet. We'll sit in our rooms,
just as long as it's warm.
Do anything and just.
Yeah,
as long as it's warm, we'll take it. But no, that'll be interesting to see if they do go on that and how they come back from that. Will they come back closer? Like you said, Jack, that togetherness has been in question at times. So will they come back at better shape first of all, and also better mentality and spirit, and hopefully, like you said, Jack, they can kick on from that. But no, really, really good result. Can't ask for any more. I think that's literally all we asked for. Like when I went on my mini 30-second rant about how I want just a reaction. I think that
perfect reaction.
Exactly reaction. Yeah, perfect reaction. Exactly what. Nothing more we could have asked for. As long as we get the win, I said, as long as we put up a fight and show spirit and show some kind of tactical nous and don't play with one centre midfielder, I'm sure we'll do all right. And we did that, and it was fantastic result. Great to be in the next cup cup round, and also give me Doncaster because I don't want to play a Premier League side.
Yeah, hopefully they've got to beat Palace first, Doncaster. So. Yeah.
That'll be fine.
I think and what really pleased me about the performance was, they were running through walls for us. And for the manager, and it looked like, and it, they really put in the effort to sort of get that win. It wasn't there was no sort of like half-heartedness about it. You couldn't say that any of them were not playing for the manager last night. I think my famous comment after the Forest game was, I didn't think some of the players looked like they gave a shit, really. And yesterday it was quite the opposite. I think it was a fantastic performance. And look, I'm back on the Herzler train, and I've still got my reservations, of course, but he's a fantastic win, and I'm looking forward to whatever comes next in the next few games. I think it'd be really good to see. Next week's going to be interesting. I think that's going to be a hard one, but I think this is a great platform to build upon.
No, 100%. We will be doing a match preview for that in the coming days, so make sure to stay tuned in for that. But no,
Chelsea episode 3 out of 4 is that? Yeah, I think there's only so many times I can talk about Cole Palmer being good, or how much I dislike Sanchez or Cucurella.
Well, now we've got this game to go off. We can use that as the basis of our preview. So,
and I don't think I would have had 18 points after the next one. So I might be able to actually provide some analysis which doesn't concede going. But Verbruggen, not good for that.
You said it how it was. So, you can't get any. Can't get and I think than that.
It was great to come back from that, because that we could have sunk into the floor after that. We really could have.
100%. That could have turned into another Forest potentially. Like how early they scored that.
Yeah.
Our heads could have gone down, but no, we showed a great reaction. So big shout out to the boys. But Jack, thank you so much for joining me. Ben, also, who's not here, but thanks for joining us. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It does mean a lot. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple, give us 5-star reviews. That would be much appreciated. And we shall see you for the next Chelsea preview, but this time in the Premier League, and hopefully 3 points to add to a
and I'm off.
knockout.
I'm off to get a Lucasade Sport.
On that
Goodbye.
note.